In this video, we'll be taking a look at 3 NBA games happening on February 23, 2025, and providing you with free team picks and total picks for each one of those games, so 6 picks in total. Welcome back to Cash Out Sports. Let's dive right into it. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe and to click the bell icon to get notified as soon as these videos get released, so that you have more time to plan out your bets as we provide these videos on a daily basis. I can guarantee that you'll have all the important information that you'll need on these 3 NBA games after fully watching this video. One more thing before we start. If you would like to gain access to our best exclusive sports picks to take your journey to the next level, then check out our Patreon in the link down below, where we offer our best single picks, parlay picks, and much more. Now let's get started. New York Knicks versus Boston Celtics. 2 Atlantic Division rivals are set to clash on the basketball court this Sunday afternoon as the New York Knicks head to Boston to face the Celtics. The Knicks are coming off a brutal 142-105 loss to the Cleveland Cavaliers on Friday night, where they failed to cover the spread as 7-point underdogs. Meanwhile, the Celtics are riding high after a dominant 124-104 victory over the Philadelphia 76ers on Thursday, easily covering as 6.5-point favorites. Historically, the Celtics have had the upper hand in this matchup, holding a 306-190 edge in the all-time regular season series. This season, Boston has swept the 2 games against New York, including a commanding 131-104 win on February 8th. Injury updates are worth keeping an eye on for both teams. The Knicks are monitoring the status of Josh Hart and Og Anunoby, who are both listed as questionable. On the Celtics side, Xavier Tillman has been ruled out, and Neemias Queta is also questionable. The Knicks had been in solid form before their blowout loss to the Cavaliers, but things don't get any easier as they now face a Celtics team that has won 8 of their last 9 games. Compounding the challenge for New York is the fact that this will be their 3rd game in 4 nights, which could lead to fatigue. Hart's availability is uncertain due to knee soreness, and the Knicks' recent struggles, getting crushed by Cleveland after barely escaping with an overtime win against Chicago, don't inspire much confidence. Boston, on the other hand, is riding a 4-game winning streak and has the advantage of rest and home court support. The Celtics have also dominated this matchup recently, winning 6 of the last 7 meetings, and they enter this game with a healthy rotation. This will be the 3rd matchup between these 2 teams this season, and Boston has thoroughly outclassed New York in the previous 2 games. They secured a 132-109 victory at home on October 22nd and followed it up with a 131-104 win in New York on February 8th. Recent form also favors the Celtics. The Knicks were dismantled by a strong Cleveland team in their last outing, losing 142-105, while Boston has won 4 straight games, each by a margin of at least 13 points. Over this stretch, the Celtics have won by an average of 19.5 points per game, showcasing their dominance. This Boston team is once again looking like a powerhouse. The point spread for this game is sizable, which might make the Knicks seem like an appealing underdog. However, given that Boston has already blown out New York twice this season, it's hard to feel confident backing the Knicks. While laying big points with the Celtics isn't particularly enticing, they've been inconsistent against the spread this season, going 24-31-1 against the spread. The Knicks haven't shown up in big games lately. They've been crushed by both the Cavaliers and Celtics this month and have failed to cover the spread in 4 of their last 5 games. The injury concerns surrounding Anunoby and Hart only add to the Knicks' woes. Despite the Celtics' struggles to cover inflated spreads, it's difficult to make a case for New York given their recent performances and injury issues. The Knicks are also 0-6 straight up this season against the NBA's top 3 teams. The Celtics tend to rise to the occasion in marquee matchups, and this game should be no exception. So the Boston Celtics to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. Both teams have been involved in high-scoring games recently. The Knicks have seen the over hit in 8 of their last 10 games, while the Celtics have gone over in 6 of their last 10. Over their last 10 contests, New York has averaged 122 points per game, but has also given up 123 points per game during that stretch. Despite ranking 23rd in tempo with 97.4 possessions per game, the Knicks have been involved in plenty of high-scoring affairs. Boston, meanwhile, has been consistently strong on offense all season. They're averaging 117 points per game for the year, and that number has slightly increased to 118 points per game over their last 10 games. While the Celtics rank 26th in tempo with 97 possessions per game, Their efficiency is what sets them apart. They're fourth in offensive efficiency this season. The over has hit in each of the last 3 meetings between these teams and in 4 of the last 5. Both the Knicks and Celtics are offensive-minded teams, tied for third in the league in offensive efficiency at 117 points per 100 possessions. However, the Knicks' defense has been a major issue as they rank 22nd in defensive efficiency, allowing 113 points per 100 possessions. That's not an ideal situation when facing a Celtics offense that has scored 130-plus points in both meetings against New York this season. Boston is also averaging 118 points per game at home, making it likely they'll put up another big number on Sunday. Over the projected total is our full game total pick. Dallas Mavericks versus Golden State Warriors. On Sunday, the Dallas Mavericks will face off against the Golden State Warriors at the Chase Center. This marks the 4th time these two Western Conference NBA teams will meet this season. So far, the Mavericks have taken 2 of the 3 matchups and have won 6 of the last 10 games between the two teams. In those games, the over has hit 7 times out of 10. The Mavericks are still dealing with injuries as Dwight Powell, Anthony Davis, and Daniel Gafford remain sidelined. On the other side, the Warriors have ruled out Jonathan Kuminga once again. Despite these absences, both teams are coming into this game with some momentum. The Mavericks managed to pull off a narrow win over the struggling Pelicans, though it wasn't their most convincing performance. Still, they've won 5 of their last 6 games, which should give them some confidence heading into this matchup. The Warriors have been in similar form, but their recent performances have been particularly encouraging, especially with Butler looking more comfortable and impactful with each game in his new squad. Since the Butler trade, the Warriors have shown a renewed energy, and playing at home for the first time in 3 weeks should add to the atmosphere at the Chase Center. The Mavericks, meanwhile, have been on a roll, not only winning 5 of their last 6 games, but also covering the spread in 6 of their last 7. Kyrie Irving has stepped up in a big way since injuries hit the team, and the defense has tightened up, holding opponents to 113 or fewer points in 4 of their last 5 games. In their first game after the All-Star break, Mavericks coach Jason Kidd once again rolled out a centerless lineup due to injuries to Anthony Davis, Daniel Gafford, and Derek Lively II. P.J. Washington made the most of his opportunity, dropping 24 points and filling up the stat sheet in his return from a sprained ankle. He's been on a tear lately, scoring over 20 points in 3 of his last 4 games, and I expect him to have another strong performance here. While the Warriors are playing well with Butler in the lineup, they don't have a dominant center to exploit Dallas' lack of size. This game will likely come down to outside shooting, and I like the Mavericks' chances of containing the Warriors' supporting cast. Dallas has covered the spread in 7 straight games, and they also beat the Warriors earlier this month as 7.5-point underdogs. They've won 5 of the last 6 meetings overall, making this line feel a bit disrespectful to the road team. So the Dallas Mavericks to cover the spread as underdogs is our full game side pick. Both the Warriors and Mavericks are middle of the pack in terms of pace heading into this Sunday afternoon game. In their recent win over the Kings, Golden State's supporting cast showed up in a big way, with Buddy Hield, Moses Moody, and Brandon Podziemski combining for 65 points. While I don't expect that level of production from them again, Stephen Curry and Jimmy Butler should be able to pick up the slack. The Warriors' offense was firing on all cylinders in their last game, and I don't see them slowing down on Sunday. They were particularly effective from beyond the arc and scored 50 points in the paint, which could be a key area of focus against the Mavericks' depleted frontcourt. Dallas' three-point defense has also been below average this season, ranking 19th in opponent three-point percentage. The Mavericks may lack traditional post-scoring options, but Kyrie Irving has been finding ways to get into the paint for buckets and create opportunities for his teammates. They also have plenty of perimeter scoring threats, with Thompson looking to make a statement against his former team and Christie thriving in Dallas' more team-oriented offense since coming over from Los Angeles. Over their last 10 meetings, both teams have averaged over 115 points per game, with the Mavericks shooting over 50% from the field. The over has hit in 6 of their last 7 games at the Chase Center. Over the projected total is our full game total pick. Los Angeles Clippers versus Indiana Pacers. The Clippers are making their way through the Midwest on their current road trip, and their next stop is Indiana, where they'll face the Pacers. Right now, the Clippers are locked in a tight race for playoff seeding in the Western Conference, where every game matters. On the other side, the Pacers are also fighting for a top spot in the Eastern Conference, sitting just ahead of the Milwaukee Bucks in the standings. Both teams have a lot on the line, making this matchup even more intriguing. Injury concerns are still lingering for the Clippers, as Kawhi Leonard Leonard and Norman Powell are both listed as questionable for this game. Meanwhile, the Pacers will continue to be without James Johnson. These absences could play a significant role in how this game unfolds, especially with both teams looking to secure crucial wins. The Clippers have had a mixed start to their 8-game road trip, splitting the first 2 games. On Sunday, they'll face a tough challenge against Indiana, a team that handed them a 7-point loss earlier this month in Los Angeles. Revenge will be on their minds, but it won't be easy, especially if Powell and Leonard are sidelined. Both players are key contributors, and Powell's emergence this season has been a major factor in the Clippers' success. Without them, the Clippers will have their work cut out for them. They enter this game as 4-point underdogs, which makes sense given their recent struggles against Indiana. They've only covered the spread twice in their last 8 games and have a 2-4 record against the spread and straight up in their last 6 meetings with the Pacers. On the other hand, Indiana has been playing some of their best basketball lately, winning 15 of their last 20 games and climbing to 4th place in the Eastern Conference. With the Bucks and Pistons hot on their heels, the Pacers can't afford to slip up if they want to hold on to their current seeding. Health-wise, they're in a much better spot than the Clippers, with their 2 stars, Pascal Siakam and Tyrese Halliburton, both healthy and performing at a high level. Indiana looked sharp in their first game after the All-Star break, easily handling a strong Memphis team while knocking down 17 three-pointers. However, the Clippers are a much tougher defensive team than the Grizzlies, so it's unlikely the Pacers will replicate their 50-point quarter from that game. I think the Clippers' defense gives them a real chance in this game. Their performance on that end of the floor has been a key factor in their success this season, and it's a big reason why they could pull off a win here. Rebounding is another area where the Clippers should have the upper hand. Indiana ranks near the bottom of the league in rebounds per game, which is a problem when you're going up against a player like Ivica Zubac, who has taken his game to another level this year. The Pacers did manage to surprise the Clippers with a win in Los Angeles earlier this season, but that was a different Clippers team. Back then, Leonard wasn't playing, and the Clippers hadn't yet established the defensive identity they have now. This season, the Clippers ranked 5th in scoring defense and 7th in 3-point defense, 2 areas where the Pacers typically excel. Additionally, the Clippers have a clear advantage on the boards, ranking 6th in the league in rebounding compared to the Pacers, who are 27th. If Powell is able to play, his presence will help spread the floor and create more opportunities from the perimeter, which is crucial against a Pacers team that ranks just 17th in 3-point defense. I think the Clippers will bounce back and even the series with a win on Sunday, so the Los Angeles Clippers to cover the spread as underdogs is our full game side pick. While the Clippers rank just 21st in scoring, their offense has looked much better with Leonard back in the lineup more consistently. Powell's potential return on Sunday would only add to their scoring capabilities. They've been trending toward higher scoring games lately, going over the total in 7 of their last 10 games. This trend could continue against a Pacers defense that ranks 21st in scoring defense. Indiana plays at one of the fastest paces in the league, ranked 6th, which often leads to higher scoring games. They've also gone over the total in 7 of their last 10 games. Defensively, the Clippers are one of the best teams in the NBA, but they'll face a tough test against a high-powered Pacers offense. The Clippers are 2nd in defensive rating, but Indiana's fast pace could pose problems for a slower-paced Clippers team. The Pacers' speed and ability to push the tempo might force the Clippers out of their comfort zone. Historically, the total has gone over in 4 of the Clippers' last 6 games in Indiana. With Powell questionable but Leonard likely to play, both teams should have enough firepower to keep the scoreboard ticking. Indiana is a top 10 team in offensive rating, and the Clippers are a much better team when Leonard is on the floor. Over the projected total is our full game total pick. Miami Heat versus Milwaukee Bucks. The Miami Heat, currently holding a 26-28 record, are set to visit Pfizer Forum to take on the Milwaukee Bucks, who stand at 32-24 in a crucial Eastern Conference showdown. Both teams are eager to build some momentum as the playoff picture starts to take shape. The Bucks are riding a 3-game winning streak, while the Heat are coming off a hard-fought victory against the Toronto Raptors, which they desperately needed. With key players returning from injuries and new additions finding their footing, this matchup has all the makings of an intense and entertaining game between 2 squads with their eyes set on the postseason. The Heat are still dealing with some roster limitations, as Kevin Love remains sidelined. On the other hand, the Bucks will be without Pat Connaughton but are anticipating the return of Damian Lillard to the lineup. Miami could really use a win to steady their season, but facing the Bucks on their home court is no small task. Milwaukee has been playing solid basketball over the past week and boasts an impressive 18-9 record at home. However, there's something about this Bucks team that feels unreliable. Just when you start to believe in them, they tend to falter. They've also struggled against the spread, failing to cover in 7 of their last 10 games. Meanwhile, the Heat are coming off a gritty overtime win on the road and have historically matched up well against the Bucks. Interestingly, the underdog has won 5 of the last 8 meetings between these two teams, and the Heat have taken 5 of the last 10 overall. So the Miami Heat to cover the spread as underdogs is our full game side pick. The Bucks have seen the under hit in 6 of their last 8 games, and Miami's offense has been inconsistent lately. The Heat have been held to 106 points or fewer in 5 of their last 9 outings, and it's hard to see them breaking out in this matchup. In their 2 head-to-head games this season, the Bucks limited Miami to just 103 and 96 points, respectively. The Heat will need to lean heavily on their defense, which ranks 7th in points allowed per game, to keep this one competitive. Given these factors, along with the likelihood of a slower-paced, defense-first battle between two teams that know each other well, under the projected total is our full game total pick. That's all for now, so if you have any other games you would like reviewed, then leave a comment down below with the game you would like analyzed, subscribe to our channel, leave a like on this video, and we'll get to it as soon as we possibly can. We would also love to hear your opinion on the picks presented to you in this video, whether you agree or disagree with them, so leave a comment down below and do let us know.